So in the previous session, we have discussed about the various operators available in Apex programming and what are the various categories of operators that we have in Apex programming we have discussed, and what is the significance of each operator we have discussed, and how to use these operators to perform the operations on the input values, and how can we represent the results on the debug log file by using system.debug statement we have discussed in the previous session. And we have discussed the various ways to write the Apex code and the various ways to execute the Apex code we have discussed. And from those ways, in the previous session, we have discussed execute anonymous window and what exactly the execute anonymous window editor, how to write the piece of code, how to execute, how to view the results by using debug log file we have discussed in the previous session. Have you tried with this navigation? How many people have tried?
Sir, I tried, sir. It was working well.
Yeah, I tried, so it's working well.
Absent. Okay. Right.
I tried, sir.
Not yet done. Now, why? Okay. Now. So now try to complete this one as soon as possible. Okay. Feel if you feel comfortable with the navigation, okay, then we can able to write the Apex programming code very easily. Okay. Now, let me go to that Visual Studio. I would like to go to that execute anonymous window. And how can we use this execute anonymous window in order to write the piece of code? Okay, we'll see with the practical. I'm going to my Salesforce org now. So let's go to the developer console. Click on setup menu. Click on developer console. Now the developer console editor will be getting open for you. Now from this developer console editor, I would like to go to execute anonymous window. So now we are using Control E in order to open that execute anonymous window as a shortcut. Now just we can expand this editor. Now here we can able to write the piece of code depends upon the business requirement, and we can execute the code by using execute button or execute the highlighted button. Okay, now. So now yesterday we have discussed a small use case to print the welcome message on the debug log file. So now today we'll see the practical use cases. Now let's go with the use cases. We'll take some small use cases initially, and then slowly we will make the things complex. Okay, now. So now my requirement is I want to define two variables. Okay, I want to define two variables in my program. The first variable will be of type integer. Second variable will be of type string. Okay, I want to write an Apex program to define two variable. One variable will be of type integer. Second will be of type string. Now, so now tell me, whenever I'm defining the variable, if I'm not assigning any value, what is the default value will stored by Salesforce? Null.
Null.
Salesforce will store the default value as null. Then what is the guarantee? What is the practical proof that Salesforce will store the default value as null? Now let's see with the practical. And then we will see how to assign some value for these variables. Okay, how to assign the value for the variables and how to print those values on the debug log file. We'll see one by one here. Okay, that means we are going to define some variables, we are going to assign some values, and we will like to print those values on our debug log file. Okay, now let's see. Take a small use case. Write an Apex program to define two variables and assign the values and print the values on the debug log file. Write an Apex program to define two variables and assign the values and print the values, okay, on the debug log file. So whatever the values that we have assigned for those variables, those values I would like to print onto my debug log file. Done? Now, let's see how can we do this. I'm going to this execute anonymous window. I want to define a variable. First one, I want to define one integer variable. Now tell me how to define. Tell me the syntax. Data type, variable name. Okay, now I'm defining the variable here. First one will be of type integer. So integer, I would like to give the variable name as some customer code. So now upon defining the variables, whatever the name that we are going to specify, so now for this variable name, already I have given some rules. Please follow these rules here. Now, please follow camel case. Upon defining the variable names, follow the camel case. That means variable name should be starts with a small letter, lowercase letter. Variable name should be always single word. Don't give any spaces in this variable names. It will show the compilation error. Okay. Variable name can include alphanumerical characters also. Variable name can include underscore also here.
Right.
That is also possible over here. Okay. Now, so now here in this case, as part of Apex programming, that already we know that each statement should be ends with a semicolon here. So I have given the semicolon. So integer customer code. Second variable, string customer name. Okay, I'm assigning this, I'm defining this variable here. These are the two variables I have defined. So now customer code, customer name. Customer code will be of type numerical, customer name will be of type string. Now, in this case, whenever we are defining the variable in Apex programming with any data type, it may be integer also, string also, boolean, ID, date, account, position, lead, case, anything, whatever it might be, upon defining the variable in Apex programming, if the user did not assign any value, then by default, Apex compiler will store the default value as null. Okay. Now, irrespective of the data type, Apex compiler will store the default value in the variable as null. So now in this case, in this particular variable also, you will be having that null value. In this variable also, it will be having this null value. Okay. Now, then how can we see that value here? In this case, whatever the value that we have inside this variable, I would like to print the value on my debug log file. How to print that value? By using system.debug statement. By using system.debug statement, we can print these values on our debug log file. Let's see how can we do that. Because I would like to check. So what values has been stored by Salesforce? So I'm using system.debug. Inside this, just we can do the variable name. That is customer name. That means what? Inside this particular variable, because upon defining this variable, automatically it will be allocating some 4 bytes of memory. In this 4 bytes of memory, it will store the default value as null. Now, whenever we are using this variable name, then what it will return in this particular variable, whatever the value has been stored, that value will be printed over here. Okay, this is the meaning of this statement. Now, I'm using this system dot debug. Now, I would like to show that customer code. I'm printing this a customer code variable value here, and then I would like to print customer name value also. Both the values I would like to print customer code, customer name. Here you can raise a question. Sir, upon defining this variable customer code, here C I have given as capital. Now, can I give this C here as small? Yes. Because Apex is not case sensitive programming, we can use any character case also. Now, click on execute button. Before executing that code, I would like to select the checkbox open log. Why this open log checkbox is selected? Automatically it should open the log file. Or else we have to go to that developer console, go to the tab bar, click on the logs tab, double click on the log file manually to make it open. So instead of opening it manually, we can make it open automatically by selecting open log checkbox. Select this checkbox open log, click on execute. Now it is opening the debug log file. Select the checkbox, debug only. Now we can able to see the result. So now it is having this values as null, null and the null. So now this customer code also null and the second value also null. So both the variables are having the default value as null. This is a practical proof that we can check. So what kind of value that Apex compiler will assign for each variable by default. Now, in this case, simply it is printing the value null and null. So now tell me in this case, how do we know first null is what? Is it customer code, customer name, or what? Second null is what? How can we know that here? So now for that reason, I don't want to print these values directly. I want to give some message also. Like for example, assume that I'm designing a login screen like this. Here I'm placing two text boxes to enter the data, to enter the username, to enter the password. I'm placing two button controls here. This is login button. This is cancel button. These are the two buttons. If I'm designing the login screen like this, then how the people can understand in the text box 1 what value we have to enter, in the text box 2 what value we need to enter. How the people will know? The people will get confused. So now suppose if he is a technical guy, then he can understand first text box is for username, second text box is for password. Suppose if it is a new person, then they can't understand, okay, which text box we have to enter username, in which text box we have to enter password. They will get confused. For that one, what we need to do, we are giving some label, like as enter username and enter password. Okay, we're giving these labels here. Now tell me, do we have any confusion now? No. He may be a new person also, existing person also, they can understand very easily. First text box is to enter username, second text box is to enter password. It is giving very clear label also. Like the similar way here also, I want to show some label. Customer code is, I want to show the value null. Customer name is, I want to show the value null. Like that I want to show that. I want to clearly indicate, not only showing this text boxes, along with the text box, we are giving some message also. Like the similar way, along with these values, I want to show some labels also. I want to show some message which indicates what exactly the first null, what exactly the second null value. Is it customer code or customer name? I want to print that value. How can we do that? Now, let me show you. Here, I would like to print the value here. System.debug. I want to print the value like message here. Customer code is. This is a message. That means it's a string so that we are enclosing in single quote. Beside that, I would like to show the customer code value here. That means inside this variable, whatever the value is there, I'm printing here. Now tell me, this will be of type what?
String.
No, no,
String.
see, this is nothing but a normal message. Just I'm showing some label here. Now, this is of type what? String.
String.
Now the customer code will be of type what? Integer. Now I want to show both, okay, side by side. How? Plus symbol, right. Okay, here we have to use plus symbol, concatenation operator. We know in Apex programming, whenever we are using this, okay, plus operator, if both the operands will be of type numerical, it will do addition. If any of the operand is of type string, it will do concatenation. So this is a string type, this is integer type. So both I would like to show side by side. I would like to concatenate them. For that reason, we are using plus symbol. Clear? Understood the concept now? Next, I want to show that system.debug. Customer name is. I would like to show that customer name value also. So now this is also a string. This is also of type string. If I'm using plus symbol, it will do concatenation here. Okay. Now, so now here not only representing these values, before this value I want to show some message. Okay, so for that reason the people can understand very easily what exactly this null value. For that reason I'm showing some message also. Now click on execute button, select the debug only. Now it is indicating very clearly customer code is null, customer name is null. Okay, now the people can understand what exactly the first value, what exactly the second value. Clear? Understood the concept now? All the fundamental basics we are done. We have discussed over here. So now just we are applying all those things in our business logic. Okay? Now, clear up to this one? Now I want to assign some value for this variable. Because by default in these variables, okay, Apex compiler has stored the value as null. Now I don't want to store null, I want to store my customer code. I want to store my customer name. How to store the value? How to assign the value for the variable? Follow the syntaxes. Everything will be purely syntax basis.
Customer code equal
Hmm.
to integer value.
Now, variables are already defined. Once a variables has been defined, if you want to assign the value, what we have to do? Variable name
The
equals to
assignment operator.
value. We are using assigning here, assignment operator here. I'm assigning the value 346009046. This is the customer code. Customer name. I want to assign the value, for example, I'm indicating this Ready Labs. Ready Labs Incorporation. Now this Ready Labs Incorporation is of type what? String. How to
String,
represent string value? Single quotes.
single quote.
Okay, string values will be always enclosed with single quotes. Okay, that is a fundamental rule. So now each and every string value should be enclosed with single quotes. Now, so we have assigned customer code value, which is a numerical, customer name value, which is a string type. Now, in these variables, the values have been stored. Now I want to print really my values has been stored or not. I would like to check it out so that we are using that system dot debug customer code value. I want to show that. How to show customer code? System dot debug customer name value. I would like to show customer name. So now just I'm printing again because here just now we have assigned some values. Now I want to check whether really my values have been stored in the variables or not. For that one I'm testing this here. I'm printing this value. If it is printing my values, then it's a confirmation to me my values are stored inside those variables. Now click on execute button. Select the debug only checkbox. Initially, it is representing the values, so both are nulls. Then later, it is representing the values along with the message. Then we have assigned some values, and those values are representing on my debug log file. Clear? Understood the concept now? So this is how we can define the variables, we can assign the values, we can represent the values on the debug log file. Okay? So whatever the variable name that we have used, then the same variable name we have to continue to use in the entire program. Okay? Now make a note of this code. Done with this? Done with this piece of code? Next. So let's take one more small use case. Now, so this time I want to take two numerical variables. Okay, I want to take two numerical variables. Like for example, first number and then second number. I want to define two variables. Both will be of type integer. Both will be of type integer. Now, once the variables has been defined, in this variable, I would like to store the value 46,500. Any value, whatever you want. I want to assign some value for this variable. In the second number variable, I would like to assign 1945. 1945. These are the two values. I'm defining two variables of type integer, and then in these variables, I would like to store the value. In each variable, I want to assign some value. Now, these two are the numerical values. Now tell me, on these numerical values, what kind of operations that we can do? Mathematical operation. Mathematical operations means what? Addition,
Plus
subtraction,
minus
multiplication, division,
multiplication,
modulus.
division,
Now, I want
mod.
to perform these five operations. On these two values, I want to perform these five mathematical operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and the modulus. I want to perform these five operations. I want to print those operation results on my debug log file. I want to show addition result, subtraction result, multiplication result, division result. So I want to perform the mathematical operations or arithmetic operations on these two numerical values which I have stored inside my variables. Okay? Understood the requirement now? Next. Let's see. Take a small use case now. Write an Apex program to define two numerical variables and assign the values. And perform all the arithmetic operations on the values and the print the result on the debug log file. And print the result on the debug log file. Done with this? Now, let's see how can we do this one. Now tell me, what needs to be done? How many variables we need to define? Two variables. Of type
Two
what?
variables.
Integer.
Integer.
Both will be of type integer. Next. Once the variables has been defined, we need to assign the values. Then we are performing some operations on this value, right? For example, addition. Once we perform the addition operation on these values, it will generate some result, right? Yes. To store the result, we need one more variable, right? Yes. That will be of
Yes.
type what?
Integer.
Integer. Because
Integer.
whenever we are performing the addition on two integers, again result will be of type integer. That is a basic mathematical formula. Okay. So the addition of two integer values will be again of type integer. So now in this case, I would like to define total three variables. One will be to store first number, second one will store second number, third one is for result. Okay, now. So now let me define these variables. Integer, first number variable, second number variable, result. Can I define these multiple variables within a single line? Yes, already we have discussed. Instead of defining each variable in separate line, we can define multiple variables within a single statement by separating a comma here. Okay, now, next one. What is the next step? Assigning the values here. Because by default, it is holding the values are null. If I'm doing the addition of null plus null, again null. Null minus null, again null. So in this case, we won't get any new results. So I want to perform certain operations. So that I'm assigning some value. First number, I'm giving the value 49,200. Second number, I'm assigning the value as 1945. I'm assigning these two values. First number variable, I'm assigning some value. Second number variable, I'm assigning some value. Okay, now, so both the variables are having some input values. Now I would like to do addition. How to do that statement? Same like as your mathematics, nothing different.
System
First
dot
number plus second number. Now, upon performing this addition of these two values, it will generate some result, right? Where you would like to store the result variable. How to write
Result
that one?
variable.
Result
Result
equals to
equals to
first number plus second
first
number.
number.
So
Second.
I'm informing to this particular Apex compiler, please perform the addition of these two values. Whatever the result has been generated, assign the result to my result variable. That means store that value inside my variable. Here we are giving direct value. Store this value in this variable, store this value in this variable. Like that here, perform the addition of these two values. First number value 49,200, second number value 1945. It will perform the addition operation, it will be generating the result value will store into result variable. Clear? This is the meaning of this statement. Now, I would like to print that result here. System.debug
Result.
addition result is,
Result.
I would like to show the value result. Clear? Next. Similar fashion, I want to perform subtraction. What we can do? Result equals to first number minus second number.
number.
I'm performing the subtraction. I would like to print the result here. Now,
Subtraction result is
subtraction result is, I would like to show the value result. Like the similar fashion, multiplication. First number into
second number.
second number. I would like to show that message. System.debug multiplication result is, I would like to show that result. Result equals to first number
First.
by second
Second
number.
number.
I'm doing the division. I would like to show the result. System.debug division result is, I would like to show that result. Modulus. How to do?
Math dot
Math dot mod, right? Okay.
mod.
Math dot mod. Here we need to pass first number,
Number.
comma, second number.
Second number.
I'm passing that both the values, first number value, second number value here.
Second number
Now
one.
this math, that mod function is going to be dividing these two values. Whatever the remainder value is available, remainder value it will store into my result variable. Now I would like to print that value system.debug remainder value is, I would like to show that the result value.
Result.
Clear? Now, so now in this case, we have defined two variables over here to store the input values. To store the result of that operation, we are using one more variable. So totally three variables we have defined, and then we are able to assign the values for these variables, and then we are doing the operations on these values. We are printing on our debug log file. Clear? Now, click on execute. Select the debug only checkbox. Now we are able to see the result also. Addition operation result, subtraction result, multiplication result, division result, remainder value also here. All the five operations results we can able to see. If you are changing the input value, these results will be changed automatically over here. Okay? Now, clear up to this one? How can we use these variable definitions, assigning the values, doing some calculations on the values directly? We can use this. Okay? Now, make a note of this code.
Sir, can we have comment option in the Apex programming?
Yes, yes, we have comments also.
Okay.
Or how to save the code?
Now, as part of this execute anonymous window, we don't have any option to save this code. We have to maintain into a local notepad. If you want to save the code, then we have to go for a feature called as Apex classes. In object-oriented programming, the whole code we can write inside that. Okay, Apex class, then we can save the code. Till then, we have to maintain our own local notepad.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello,
Yes.
sir. Sir, I have a question
Yes.
here. This integer first number, second number, and result. So can't we write it like integer first number is equal to 49,200, comma
You
second
can do.
number
You
is
can
equal?
do. You
Yeah.
can do.
Okay. And sir, here no open braces, close braces, unlike Java, right, sir?
Same. Can we store these two values upon definition itself? Yes, that
Yeah,
already we have discussed. We
we
can
can.
write like this. Okay, 49,200 also we can write like this. Second number variable equals to 1945. We can able to write like this also. It's your choice. Depends upon the requirement. Okay, done with this code. Now, clear up to this one? Next. So let's take a small use case now. So now I have a small use case requirement. For example, today I went to a supermarket to buy some apples. So now today they're offering some discounts. Okay, today they're offering some 15% of discount on the bill amount. Now 15% discount on the bill amount here. So that we can save some amount so that I'm going to the supermarket today. So I went to the supermarket to buy some apples. So now each apple cost is 50 rupees. Each apple cost is 50 rupees. Now I'm purchasing 20 apples. There is a quantity. I'm purchasing 20 apples. Then what will be my bill amount then? 1000 rupees. Okay, the bill amount will be 1000 rupees. This is the actual bill amount. Today, what they're offering discount. How much percentage? 15 percentage here. Then I would like to calculate the discount amount here. So now, how to calculate the discount amount? Hmm.
Bill
Bill amount into, okay, the bill amount into 15 by 100.
100,000.
Okay, now bill amount into 15 by 100. So now what is the bill amount value then? 15%, 1000 rupees. Okay, this is the bill amount here. Now the discount amount will be 150 rupees.
250.
What is the net bill amount then? 850. That
850
means how to calculate your actual bill amount minus discount
minus
amount. Okay,
discount.
discount. Then it will be like a some 850 rupees. Okay. So now this is our general calculation. Now I want to do this one through Apex program. I want to calculate the bill amount based on the quantity and the unit price. Based on the quantity and the unit price, I would like to calculate that bill amount. Once the bill amount has been calculated, on that bill amount, I would like to offer 15% of discount. So I would like to calculate the discount amount. Then I would like to calculate net bill amount here. Okay, this is my requirement. Now tell me, for this program, how many variables are required? What type of variables are required?
Total two,
Integer variables. Okay, right?
three,
How
four,
many? Five.
five.
Why five?
Single in single also we can do.
Hmm. Why these are five variables? To store this quantity
Everything.
value, we need one variable. To store the unit price, we need one more variable. To store the bill
Bill
amount, we need one more variable. For the
discount
discount, one more. For the net
net
bill amount, one more. Total, how many variables? 5
5.
variables are required of
Five
type integer. Now, once the 5 variables has been defined, in how many variables we need to assign some value?
1.
What are
We
all the
need
inputs are
apple and
required for me to do this calculation?
quantities.
To do
Price
this one,
means
okay,
price and
to do this
quantity.
particular calculation, how many variables are, how many values are required? Two values.
Two
That means how
variables.
many
Two
items you are
variables.
going to purchase, what items you are going to purchase. That means we need two input values over here. Okay, I need two input values. First one, okay, the quantity and the unit price. So these two are required. Based on these two values, remaining values I would like to calculate over here. Okay, we need two input values to calculate the bill. How many items you are going to purchase, what is the cost of each and every item. Based on this, we can able to calculate the bill, and we can able to calculate the discount. We can generate that net bill amount value also. Okay, clear up to this one? Now let's see how can we do this one. Let's take this use case. Write an Apex program to calculate the bill amount based on the quantity and the unit price, and calculate the 15% off discount and represent the net bill amount, and represent the net bill amount. Done with this? Now let's see the practical. How can we do this? Now I'm defining the variables here: integer, quantity, unit price, bill amount, discount amount, net bill amount. Upon defining the variable names, please give the proper meaningful name. Just by looking into the variable name itself, we can understand what is the purpose of that variable. Okay, now simply when you go to that college level, the people are going to be defining the variable like this: x, y, z, a, b, like that. But don't define the variables like this. We can't recognize what is x, what is a, what is b. We can't recognize. So that here, please give the proper meaningful names for your variables. Okay. Now, in order to do this calculation, to generate the bill, we have to purchase some items here. So now how many items you have purchased? What is the cost of each and every item? They should be aware of. Okay, if they know on these two, then they can generate the bill. Without these two, we can't generate any bill here. Okay, now, so that we are assigning the values. Quantity, I'm assigning the value, okay, some 25 items I'm purchasing here. Unit price. Each item cost is, for example, some 75 rupees. 75 rupees. Each item cost is 75 rupees. Quantity will be 25 items I am going to purchase. Now, I would like to calculate bill amount. How to calculate the bill amount then? Hmm. Quantity into unit price. Okay, right. That's it. Quantity into unit price. So I'm generating the bill amount here. System dot debug bill amount is, I would like to show that bill amount. Okay, next. What is the next step? Discount, right? Discount amount equals to. Here we can use now bill amount into 15 whole divided by 100. So now whenever we are going to be performing this kind of calculations here, generally what we will do, we are going to be adding that bill amount into 15, okay, whole divided by 100. Okay, now. So now in this case here, now don't write like as only bill, okay, amount into 15 by 100 because the calculations will be different over there. So because when you go to the mathematics, we are having BODMAS rules are available. In computer science also, in every programming language, by default, BODMAS rules will be applied. So that here we need to take care about that braces all these things here. Now we need to multiply these two values first. Then the whole value I would like to divide with 100. Okay, but here in mathematics we are writing like this, but in computer science we can't write like this. So that we have to divide this whole value by 100. Okay, now I would like to show that result. System.debug discount amount is, I would like to show the value. Next, net bill amount. How to calculate bill amount minus discount amount? That's it. Simple. Same like as your mathematics. Now, system.debug, I would like to specify net bill amount is, okay, we are going to be representing here. Net bill amount. Okay, now. So now here we have defined this as two variables over here, quantity and unit price. We have stored some values inside these variables. Once the values has been assigned, we are calculating the bill amount. Based on the bill amount, we are offering some discount of 15%, and then we are generating net bill amount values also. Okay. So now here we are using just a quantity and unit price. Click on execute button. Now it is representing this result. Select the debug only. So now the bill amount will be 1875. Out of this one, we are getting this a discount amount of 281. Okay, 281 will be the discount over here. And the net bill amount will be 1594. The remaining amount we need to pay to the supermarket people here. Clear? Understood the concept now? Next. Now, make a note of this code. Done with this code? Now, clear up to this one? Next, take one more use case. Now my requirement is I would like to calculate simple interest. Okay, I would like to calculate simple interest because I would like to take some loan from the bank for a period of time with some specific amount as interest. So now I would like to calculate the simple interest. Now tell me, to calculate the simple interest, do we have any specific formula or standard formula in mathematics? Yes, there is a formula here. What is that formula? We have
PNR by
PTR
100.
by PTR by 100.
100.
This is a formula here. We are going to be using this formula to calculate that simple interest. In this one, P means what, T means what, R means what.
P is principal,
Now
T is the
this
time, and
is
R
nothing
is the
but
rate.
principal amount. That means how much amount that you would like to take as a loan from the bank. Okay, principal amount. This will be of type what? Integer. That means I would like to take, for example, 5 lakhs as a loan. That loan amount is nothing but principal amount here. That is integer. T means what? Time. That means a tenure in terms of months. So for how many months you would like to take this loan? What is the loan period? It may be 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, 48 months, 60 months, or what. That is also in terms of integer. Next, rate of interest. So what will be the interest rate here? As per the bank policy, the people are going to be indicating like as 12%. 12% means what? 1 rupee interest. 24% means 2 rupees interest here. They are going to be representing in terms of percentages. Now I would like to take like as 2 rupees of interest over here. This is also of type integer. Now I would like to apply the calculation. So now I'm having some principal amount of some 5 lakh rupees for 48 months of time with 2 rupees of interest over here. What is the interest amount I would like to calculate? Okay, clear? So now we have to write the code. So what needs to be done here in this case? First of all, define the variables. Totally, how many variables are required? Four variables. Why four variables? To store the principal amount, to store the tenure, to store the rate of interest, three values. And then fourth variable is for what? To store the interest amount here. That means after doing this calculation, whatever the result has been generated by that okay calculation, to store the result amount. That means interest amount, I would like to define one more variable here. So now in that case, total four variables are required of type integer. And then define these four variables of type integer, then assign the value for principal amount and the tenure, rate of interest. Okay, assign the values for these three variables. Then apply this formula PTR by 100, do the calculation, store the result inside interest amount variable, print the value over here. Clear? Now write the code for this. Write an Apex program to calculate the simple interest. To calculate the simple interest. Formula PTR by 100. Write the code for this. Defining these variables now, this piece of code. Let's see how can we write this piece of code. Let's see how can we write this piece of code. I'm defining these variables now. Integer, principal amount, rate of interest, tenure, and then I'm defining the variable interest amount here. These are the four variables I'm going to define. I would like to assign the values. Principal amount equals to some 5 lakhs. But in this particular variable names, please follow that. Don't give any name, okay, spaces inside the variable name. Okay. Don't give any space inside the variable name here. Variable name should be always a single word. And then inside this numerical values also don't give any commas. Numerical value should be always should have numerical digits, no characters. Okay. These are few small mistakes, just you can correct it also. Rate of interest. I'm giving that interest rate will be like as 2 rupees of interest. Tenure. I'm giving like as some 48 months over here. Okay, 48 months. Now I would like to do the calculation here. Interest amount equals to, I would like to apply the formula like principal amount into tenure into rate of interest whole divided by 100. So whatever the variable names that we have defined over here, same variable names we have to use throughout the program over here. Don't change the variable names. Okay. Whatever the variable names you have defined, use that same variable names in that entire program. And then we can represent the value. System.debug interest amount is, I would like to show that value interest amount. If you want to represent the total amount which we are going to pay to the bank, including interest, including principal amount here, I would like to specify integer total outstanding. Total outstanding equals to, we need to specify the principal amount plus interest amount. Now, total outstanding amount is, I would like to show that total outstanding. Okay, total outstanding amount. Outstanding amounts means balance amount. How much amount we need to pay to the bank still. Okay. Now, so now as part of the bank terminology, they're indicating like a still outstanding amount. Outstanding amount means, okay, how much amount we need to pay still to the bank. Now, click on execute. Select the debug only. Now it is indicating this. Interest amount is 4,80,000 rupees. Okay, for the 5 lakhs for 4 years of time with the 2 rupees of interest, we are paying 4,80,000 rupees will be the interest amount. So the total amount which we are going to pay to the bank is 5 lakh rupees of principal amount plus 4,80,000 will be the interest. Total 9,80,000 rupees we are paying to the bank. Okay. Now, that's what. When you take the loan from the bank, you have to pay double amount to the bank here. Okay. Now, those people are very clever. Hmm? Clear? Now, done with this code? Feeling comfortable with the code? How to write? How to define the variables? How to assign the values? How to do the calculations by our own? How can we perform the calculations by using some built-in formulas? Okay. Feeling comfortable till now? Now. So do the practice on that. What? Now. Now, so that here, do the practice on these features today. Okay. Now, don't make the things pending here. Okay. I don't want to listen the word tomorrow. Okay. Now, tomorrow, everybody has to complete these use cases. Okay. If you are facing any difficulty, if you are getting any issues in the code, upon execution, just you can post into the WhatsApp group immediately. Don't waste the time here. Okay. Tomorrow, let's complete this one. Tomorrow we will be having so many use cases. Okay. Now, this is the first day, right? If I'm giving more use cases today, the people can't understand. Okay. Now, so that here upon doing the practice, if you are getting any issues, then don't spend more time here. Just you can spend some 5 to 10 minutes of time. Okay. Still, if you are unable to figure it out what exactly the issue, take a screenshot of that issue, post into the WhatsApp group here. Okay. Then go to the next program. Okay. Don't sit on that same program over here, because I know the student mentality here. Because upon doing the practice, if you are getting any error, then they will try to fix the issue for 10 minutes or 15 minutes max. After that, simply they will shut down the system, they'll go outside. Okay, so don't do that here. Okay, so just you can spend only 5 minutes, okay, to resolve the issue, or else go to the next program, post that issue into your WhatsApp group. Okay, so do the practice on these features today. Tomorrow we'll see some more functionalities, along with we are going to discuss about conditional statements also tomorrow. Okay, thank you.